This DAP Child Welfare radio program is sponsored by DAP Zambia in cooperation with the Ministry of Community Development and Social Services. Founded in 1990 as a non-governmental organization, DAP Zambia reaches over 1.3 million people in all the 10 provinces of Zambia through community-based and people-centered development projects. Its projects generate conducive spaces for communities to thrive on and create positive change individually and collectively to build resilience and capacities. The knowledge, skills, and tools it shares empower people and their families to face and overcome poverty, illiteracy, and disease with diligence. DAP Zambia, shoulder to shoulder with the people. A very good welcome to the DAP Child Welfare radio program. In today's program, we will take a look at the transformation initiatives of juveniles who have come in conflict with the law and are undergoing rehabilitation at Nakambala approved school in Mazabuka town of Southern Province. Here are the details. Among the challenges of Zambia's justice administration is that of offenders reoffending and convicted shortly after their release from a correctional facility. Supporting rehabilitation and social reintegration of inmates and juvenile offenders into communities has become a core element in the justice system. In this light, DAP Zambia has embarked on a program to help inmates and juvenile offenders improve their own lives outside correctional facilities and win their community's acceptance. One of these facilities it helps is the Nakambala approved school in Mazabuka town of Southern Province. Pumulo Lubasi is the DAP project leader at the facility.
At this facility, there are two activities which we normally do, which is rehabilitation and reintegration. On rehabilitation, we are offering vocational skills as well as life skills. On vocational skills, we are the one procuring the learning materials for the juveniles. We are supporting the juveniles in implementing the learning materials for them. When we come to counseling, we also have time where we sit with the juveniles. We collect the data from the juveniles as well as officers. When counseling the juveniles, we have group counseling and also as individual counseling. When it comes for reintegration, we are also supporting the juveniles with starter packs, as well as visiting the juveniles where they are coming from and to see how the community have welcomed them back. With the child welfare, we managed to erect the perimeter of 1,700 game wire. We also renovated 3 hostels. We also renovated tailoring. Also, we did part of dining hall and also bought tools like sewing machines, metal fabrication tools.
It is at this facility that Bright is undergoing a rehabilitation process after coming in conflict with the law.
Sharinganse mfika kuna kambara pro school kunze kulia nari rufienye nari no sana obora kunze kulia nari bire phone umunandi after na bire phone umunandi wasantwara ku police bantwara koti after na fuma koti abantu minacha twara kutuma ku school ukayesambirira ufana mbira kolera confirmation kulia ku prison kumfurira after na fuma kumfurira ku prison nasa kupita singongo kundora remind kulia for confirmation ya shire from October 2020 after of my confirmation December by Saturday tana kuna kambara approved kuna kambara bandetere kuno abana ndi obana kwete ku prison bali nje bachaho kaye butuka namba fona sambirira kuno ifinga fonsha ishiwe kunzi nisambirira kunchite sharp sana shako nangana rifumine kunsi techinde nchure kurima ninchibansha ishibo kurima ninchibo popa amapranga carpentry ninchiba ma computer ninchiba so nangana dire kunsi techinchuri.
To reduce the temptations of reoffending after release, the project puts in measures that help former juvenile offenders settle well in their communities. Pumulo again.
In reintegration, we support them with startup packs. Instead of just leaving that juvenile go away, we know that he may reoffend again. So that's why we are giving that juvenile a startup pack so that he can find a living. 37 juveniles so far we have empowered them with startup packs. If a juvenile has done carpentry, when the juvenile is released, we buy them tools for carpentry. As well as if he has done tailoring, we'll buy him a sewing machine.
To see how committed the juvenile offenders are in changing their lives, the project apportions them individual gardens as starting points of personal responsibility.
The main idea of coming up with the individual garden, one, we want to see each juvenile, how he can use the starter pack in our absence. When a juvenile can manage his garden on his own, we are sure that even when we give something to that juvenile, he can manage it in our absence. The money which they are getting on those individual gardens, they save it. When it's time to go, they go with that money. I can say that the highest so far when we came here managed to save 2,500 kwacha. And that boy was given the money. And also on top of that, he was given a startup pack of tailoring. So he managed to buy the material and he started his life, and that boy is doing fine now.
Alfred, a former juvenile offender who went through the Nakambala approved school, is settling well at home, doing gardening to fundraise money for buying planks to use his carpentry starter pack.
Minasiga meunganda ninakara unganda ndaranga utino chekwa ngochita ina chiutekwa njane mari akuri amapuranga ari mwaimbi yandika mu carpentry. Sombunda tarika kulima garden cabbage arimwe ya tomato arepu. So kwa chino chindirepu nirasambara ina cabbage itarika pakuunga arimwe ya tomato itarika pakwera. Usonda bona kaindi kuti mari nirakwa kujana kuti amapuranga utekwa nechite continue carpentry.
With Alfred, it all began with a phone he picked up and went with it home. A week later, it was discovered and he was taken to police, detained, arrested, taken to court and sentenced with a recommendation that he goes to a juvenile facility after confirmation from the High Court. 8 months later, he was confirmed and taken to Nakambala approved school where he went through rehabilitation and training in carpentry, gardening and computer studies.
Ndari wenkakura chishuma kiti. Then mbweka jana phone ya wantu akuiweza. Then nimane kuiweza ya wainda one day after ndaiweza. Then bataya akuyanda orabeni then baijana uri ndime. Vanitora polisi ya achisekese. Then vamane unitoro ukuya. Then vanita transfer umonze. Mane unitora umonze wainda 15 days eri mumasales. After 15 days vanitora ku prison. Mambo twainga mu High Court mweya mbuva tuchita confirm amwenzi umame. Mbombo vatutora ku Nakambala approved school. Then after 1 week mbuva tubika umakirasezi. So mindasara carpentry metofab. Arimwe agriculture, a computer study. Arimwe twachita test ya entrepreneurship and job search. After 6 months, mbuva ni kushari.
When he left the facility, DAP Zambia gave him a carpentry starter pack to sustain himself with a carpentry skill he acquired.
Badapo kati gwasha kanya mburi into ya kuberesha bakanipa yonse yandika mu carpentry kambo kuti ntwazwapo since kairi into kuina ya kuberesha so tandimu ndari unganira ijana into alimita batyomke kubora imba still mo bachitubona alimi akutukurwa ya kutegwa tutakali janiko mu situation nje muna yanjitwaliwo mu first.
To this effect, Alfred is empowered with a skill that encourages him never to repeat his mistake. He says though he was treated well while at the facility, the fact that there is restricted freedom makes home a better place to be.
Jani pa kuyumayuma muli ejitakambo nili yano taniko kujogera muli mu situation muli ya first year. Kambo muya mugati muyata muli muntu mbotu mwa uti 17 hours urajalirwa but noli unganda uli fully.
Alfred's father testifies that when his son came back home, he was a skilled boy. He fixed the door his father had bought and was waiting for a hired carpenter to fix it. This, he says, demonstrated that his son indeed came back with a skill. He thanks DAP Zambia for having been there for his son from the start of the challenges up until he was released.
Onona akabola nchobeni ndakabona bubole mbwa akajoka kuti kulincha akali kuyoyiya pona matuzi ngakabola ngayo ikunditondera kuprove kuti nchobeni wakakuba skilled and is qualified wakayondi bambira donje muna yailanga ndango aifitting adoire yandakayula bo mushopu ti yabikidwe motsiroko yonse kunyina zakabikidwe songo akali kuhibika but na akaunka kunyina chaka yoro jomwe so kuli ndimeyo ni proof ya kuti kuti kuli chaka jana chingwa yakunomgwa mubume ebadapu mumazuba ama challenges a mwanangu bakali kubereka alimi babereka buba bayali ba mwana kwinda ndimemwe yareka moyala ironji baka playinga bakalunduka kundinda lubiro ndubajisirwa lirora hongwinda ndimemwe yali alimi takuni balegede olokuzwana akazwa kumaza buka kubola kunganda tulakana na phone time and again yakubuya uti no mwana sunupona buti.
Nakambala approved school plays a cardinal role in the remolding of juveniles who have come in conflict with the law, as well as those who need care and love. Mary Mongo Mbezu is the social welfare officer at the facility.
We have two types of juveniles who come to this institution who are admitted. One, we have juveniles who have come in conflict with the law. Two, we have juveniles who are in need of care. Both types of juveniles who come here go through the courts. They are ordered to come to this institution so that they acquire skill and also be rehabilitated.
The facility offers various skills that empower the juvenile offenders to be self-reliant in developing their lives after they leave the facility. Mary explains.
We have metal fabrication, we have carpentry and joinery, tailoring and cutting and designing. We have also computer science, agriculture science, and also brick laying and plastering. We also have academic section where the boys are able to learn how to read and write. And those who are in school, we make sure that they continue with school when they come at this institution. We assess the boys when they come. Those who are supposed to be in grade 1, they start grade 1. Those who are supposed to be in grade 2, just like that. And those boys who have shown signs of reforming, after 3 months, we now take them outside and learn from the nearby schools.
At the point of releasing the reformed child, the facility makes all necessary arrangements to make sure the child gets in good hands to start a new and better life.
When the child is about to be released from this institution, we start making contacts with the place where the child has come from. We start preparing the families that this boy is coming to be with you. We want the boys to go in safe hands as they are being released from this institution. After they are released, we link them now to the social welfare officer at the district to be monitoring them and also to continue with the plan of action which we've recommended as an institution as they are going back. Counseling continues as they go back to their districts.
To stop the stigma and discrimination of former juvenile offenders, Mary calls for support of these boys from community members as they settle amongst them.
These children are just like our own children. There is no difference between a child who is at this school and the child who is at home. When they come back, please treat them the way you treat other children. We need to welcome them, we need to support them, we need to encourage them.
There we are. There is indeed no better time than this for us all to give a hand. Stopping stigma and discrimination towards those who have gone through the legal system is the first step. Let us support juveniles in conflict with the law. Their future is in our hands. I am your host, Mazuba Mwinga. Till next time for another exciting topic, it's goodbye for now. This DAP Child Welfare radio program is sponsored by DAP Zambia in cooperation with the Ministry of Community Development and Social Services. Founded in 1990 as a non-government organization, DAP Zambia reaches over 1.3 million people in all the 10 provinces of Zambia through community-based and people-centered development projects. Its projects generate conducive spaces for communities to thrive on and create positive change individually and collectively to build resilience and capacities. The knowledge, skills, and tools it shares empower people and their families to face and overcome poverty, illiteracy, and disease with diligence. DAP Zambia, shoulder to shoulder with the people.